This time on All About Cars, what was supposed to be a simple grille removal and paint turned into a complete disaster. The second we pulled this grille off the 67, I found way more rust than I expected. And then we accidentally destroyed the radiator. So now I've got to save the grille, stop the rust, and somehow keep this project moving forward. This is the Misfire. Welcome back to All About Cars. Today we're working with the Misfire. I've got a couple things I want to deal with. I went and bought some cheap parts to gussy this thing up. Hopefully I can do it on a budget. Today I'm going to see how cheap I can paint the grille, do a little cosmetic work on the truck. I really want to deal with some of this rust that's happening in the front, and I want to see if I can give it a little curb appeal. We got one less bolt till it's off.
Nope. Oh, and now that's happening.
Beautiful. I wonder why that radiator wasn't cooling very well.
I mean, I don't know.
Just falls apart in 2 seconds. I really like the bird nest in here. It is broken. Someone JB welded it right there.
That's probably what's
ridiculous.
See how much faster this thing is when it has a dead battery?
You know, just a little bit of coolant. There we go. We got a little bit of leakage, but we finally got it off. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this section hosed off and kind of get it ready for some black rust converter. So up in the front here, we've got all this surface rust, kind of what's sitting behind the grille, and I really want to make it look a lot better for really cheap. So the best thing you could do is off-brand rust converter, very cheap. So this rust converter is actually really nice because not only does it fix the problem, it gives it kind of a black painted look once it's done. The stuff in this chemically converts this rust into a paintable surface, or in this case, just a black backdrop for the grille. I went ahead and set a rag down so it's not just gonna drip everywhere as I'm painting this stuff on. But it's self-leveling. All you do is cover the rust. Well, I'll be dipped because this rust converter stuff, a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. This center rust right here, that's all the radiator, so when that comes out, it'll be fine. But both sides, I mean, they look brand new. That's crazy. My next thought was, you know those wheels I painted a while back? Painted them gray and kind of left it alone. Doesn't look good enough by itself. So I went and picked me up black center caps, and even better, some black lug nuts. It's gonna make this thing shine. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little test run with this side. First side off. So as far as the directions go, I guess it's just pop it through the back. Look at that. That's gonna set it off. And then 5 of these black lug nuts. Come on, little guys. Of course, the new ones are a 19 instead of a 22 like the old ones. Doesn't look half bad. Check that out. Let's go ahead and get these other 3 sides and get it done. Front's done. That's the rear done. Time to get this thing a little bit washed off. I'm gonna clean both sides and prep this thing for some paint. Okay, this thing's all nice and scrubbed up. Time to let it air dry and paint it the same shade as the rims. So I've got that first coat of primer on. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for about 10 minutes and then hit it with the first coat of the gray wheel color. First coat is on and it is looking fantastic. Time to get that second coat and let this thing dry. Okay, I let this thing dry for about a day or two. And I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some of the hardware on and get this thing installed. Yeah, whoever designed this grill did really not want it taken off. They came up with the plans, burned the plans, and then died and told no one. That's how hard it is to get this on and off. Okay, now that the grill is on, I am gonna go ahead and get this first headlight and bezel done on this side. It's not too difficult. I'm gonna kind of go through it and show you. First thing you got, the little backing plate here. Don't take too much to get it on. And then you have 2 adjusting screws with these. They just clip right in. There's one, and here's 2. Got it. And then this has 2 little spots on it where it hooks right onto those adjusting screws. Come on. And then we got a little spring. This little spring kind of hooks it on this back side. Keeps everything kind of together. And it can sometimes be a pain to get in. I might need a flathead. I have a Mondo one right here. Oh, this might be too big. Got it. She's in. These adjusting screws aren't too difficult to mess with, but they are sticking out quite a lot. I'm gonna kind of go ahead and level this in. So the headlight's gonna go on, just plugs right in. It's real simple. It has kind of little notches, but you got this beauty ring that's gonna sit over it, and this is what holds it in place. The neighbor's dogs tried to attack me. I want to kind of show you that little bezel ring that sits in here. These grooves, it lets you just screw right in. But normally you could slide it, but it tightened in perfectly. Everything's good. These adjusting screws here, you can loosen them or tighten them, and it'll pull it either down to the side or up or down on the bottom. Now, eventually this bezel, I'm gonna paint that as well with the grill. I haven't gotten around to that yet, just because I'm not sure if I wanna go black or if I'm gonna be repainting the truck. Well, that's one on this side, completely done, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the other side. Now that everything's squared away and done up, we got the center caps, lug nuts. I got grill paint, taking it off, removing everything, rust converter, all about $100. In total, I'm running this thing a little under $200, and I got all that done. I've also gone ahead and had the seals for the windows redone. It's 10 million degrees out here. Now that this is all done up and looking pretty, I can go ahead and move on to some bigger projects like getting the engine and transmission back in this thing. Thank you all for watching. Check out the next video. This is Mason with All About Cars.